What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith and I am 31 years old. I currently own over $25 million worth of real estate, and the cash flow alone, so the passive income from those rentals, pays me enough to be able to afford my dream home, my dream cars, and my dream lifestyle, completely paid for with that passive income. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you what I would do if I had to start from scratch with nothing to be able to build back up to this point. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, that is a very in-your-face, over-the-top, even, I don't know, arrogant intro. However, the other day I was sitting down with my wife and she said, you know what, if we lost everything, if all the rentals disappeared, if the YouTube channel disappeared, if your sales force disappeared and we had to start from scratch, what would you do? And I kind of sat down and I thought about it for a minute and I thought, hey, this would be a really cool video because the top 1% is the top 1% because there's 99% that haven't reached that point. And we've been very lucky and blessed in our lives to get to the point where we can afford all the things that we've ever wanted with the passive income from our rentals. However, if that was all taken away, I know that's what the majority of the people watching the channel ask is, hey, if you started from nothing, if you were me, if you're in my situation with my income, what would you do to get to the point that you're at? And so I don't want this to come off as arrogant at all. This is just a question that I get asked more than probably any other question. And so in this video, I'm gonna share with you, regardless of what situation you're in, what I would do to get to the point where you own $25 million worth of real estate, you're cash flowing almost 7 figures a year, and so that you can afford everything that you wanted and more. And in this video, I'm gonna break down step by step how I would go through that process to get to where I'm at as quick as possible. Because for me, this took over 10 years to accomplish. However, if I knew what I knew now, I think I could have gotten there a lot more quickly. And I'm gonna share with you those steps that I would have taken and the things that I would have done different. And with all of that, let's just jump into it. The only thing that I ask you to do is remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell, and we're just gonna roll. All right, guys, so I am at ground zero. I don't have any money, I don't have a job, and I'm starting with nothing, and this is exactly the steps that I would take to get back to where I'm at. Now, as I go through these steps, there are going to be a lot of you saying, well, what about this? I've got this situation, so I can't do that. Or what about this? Or what about that? So I think the first thing that you need to do is be able to step out of your situation and step away from making any form of excuses. Now, maybe you look at my plan and you say, you know what, Chandler, I just don't want to do that. I'm not willing to make those sacrifices. I'm not willing to make those moves. That's okay. However, I truly believe that anyone can take these steps to be able to get where I'm at, and I think they can do it in less than 10 years if they do it properly. First off, I would say the majority of these people that come to me with this question are in a job that, one, they don't like, and two, it's not paying them enough to ever get ahead. They're going in every day, they're hating their job, they're making $20, $25 an hour, they're spending every dime of that to be able to pay for rent, to pay for food, and they're just in this rut of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And they come and say, hey, I want to invest, or I want to buy real estate, or I want to get ahead. But they still are going to this job that the reality is that job will never get them ahead. Now, there are two ways to get ahead. You either cut expenses or increase income. And I am a firm believer that the only way to truly get ahead is by increasing income. Now, you can cut expenses and you can save, but that is a very long, painful process to get to where you want to be. And so you've got to find a way to increase your income. Now, there are a couple ways to do this. The first one I always push people towards is getting a sales job. Now, a lot of people say, Chandler, I'm not a salesman. Well, here's the deal. In order for you to be successful at anything, you've got to become a salesman. I'm sorry, you've got to have salesmanship, whether you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a dentist, you're a marketer, you are a, whatever. It doesn't matter what you're going into. If you can't communicate with people and if you can't sell yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to be successful. Now, there are some jobs where you can go to years and years and years of college and get this degree that no one else has, and that might give you an edge, but even then, if you can't sell yourself, you're not going to be successful. The other thing I would tell you is passion is important, but you can't truly be passionate about anything unless you're passionate about yourself and you're able to sell yourself. And so learn how to do that first. Now, there are lots of people that right away I've lost them because they're like, oh, I don't want to be a salesman. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be pushy. I'm not going to be that person. And I'm telling you, if you choose to not learn how to sell yourself, you're never going to be successful at what you're doing. That's just the reality, right? And there are people that have businesses that have blown up and they might say, I'm not a salesman, but here's the deal. Their business wouldn't have blown up if they weren't passionate about selling themselves and selling their business. It's just the reality behind making money. You've got to find a way to get people to like you, to get people to trust you, to get people to want to follow you, to get people to want to give you their money because they believe in you and whatever platform you've created. And so when it comes down to creating some bomb product or bomb business or bomb whatever, no one's going to jump on board unless you learn how to sell that. Now, I got off course, but instead of starting a business, and I believe starting a business is crucial, but a lot of times you don't have the experience to be successful in a business. And so if you do have a passion, you do have something that you'd like to start a business, be a salesperson in that business because you're going to learn how to sell it. You're going to learn how it works. And I'm telling you right now, you can get to where I've gotten owning $25 million worth of real estate and getting that passive income by never actually even owning your own business. Now, if you can own your own business, that's awesome. And I'm not saying that's not a bad option. As a matter of fact, that is an option that could get you where you want to go more quickly. But getting into a commission job where you are paid according to what you produce rather than an hourly wage, that is how you're going to get ahead. And so you've got to find a way to increase your income. So for me, if I'm looking at a sales job to go into, I want it to be commission based, where the better I get at it, the more that I make. And I also want it to be in a place where it is scalable. Something that I have the ability to say, hey, I've gotten good at this, and now I can reproduce myself, right? I can train more sales reps. I can train more people to do what I do, and so that it can become scalable. Now, maybe there's a business that falls into this category, but you've got to find a way to not only get paid based on what you produce, but then be able to duplicate yourself so that you can scale that, so that you can increase your income. An hourly job, $25 an hour, is never going to get you to where you want to be. It just isn't. And so if you're saying, well, this is what I want to do, well, that's okay as long as you're okay making $25 an hour and spending every dime you have just to survive and staying in that hamster wheel forever. It's never going to get you to where you want to be if this is what you want. If you want to get to a point where you own real estate and you have passive income coming in. So the first thing I would do is approach whatever I'm looking at doing from the standpoint of, is it commission so that as I get better at it, I will make more? And is it scalable? Once you have those things, then you can create an environment that is scalable so that every day, every month, every year, your income should be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, once you have this, it's all about reverse engineering. And what I mean by this is look at your end goal. If your end goal is, Chandler, I want to own $25 million worth of real estate, or I want to own $100 million of real estate, or I just want to own $5 million worth of real estate, you need to know this is how much money I need to purchase that much real estate. And if I purchase that much real estate, it's going to spit out this return. So if you're someone that says, hey, I just want $100,000 in passive income every single year, work backwards. All right, if I need $100,000 of passive income every year, and I know I can get a 10% investing in real estate, then I need to invest this much money. And if I need to invest this much money, then I need to have this much money to invest. And if I need to have this much money to invest, I need to have a job that spits out this much income, and I need to set aside this much of that income so that then I can have it to invest. And once you've figured that out, then you can look at your job and you can say, all right, how quickly do I think I can scale, or how quickly do I need to scale to reach this goal in 5 years, or to reach this goal in 10 years, or reach this goal in 3 years. Now, if you want to reach this goal in 1 year, you're never going to do it. Because a lot of times people will make decisions based on getting an end result in 1 year. And so they're constantly hopping. There's always greener pastures. There's always a better way to do that. And because they're always hopping from job to job, from opportunity to opportunity, well, they're never able to scale. The more you hop, the harder it is to scale because you never get good at what you're doing. So find what you believe to be the best platform to increase your income and to be able to scale, to be able to get paid based on commission and being able to scale so you get a commission on what you scale, and then put it together. At the end of the day, if you can figure out what that job is and you can reverse engineer what you want backwards into where you want to be, then you're going to be in an incredible place. So that is a very broad view on how I would do it, but now we're gonna dive into the nitty-gritty. So for me, the way that I personally would do it is I would find that sales job. And there are lots of sales jobs. For me, I love door-to-door. And the reason that I love door-to-door is I can knock an endless amount of doors every single day. And I can recruit an endless amount of people and train them how to knock doors and make a commission off of those people. And so the scalability factor is there. It's endless. But maybe this isn't what you want to do. Maybe you want to do business-to-business sales. Maybe you want to do something else. However, there are sales jobs that lack that scalability factor. For example, I meet a lot of car salesmen, and every year they personally have to sell all of the cars that they sell, and that's only based on how many people come into their dealerships. They're very limited on how fast they can scale. Now, it's a little more guaranteed. That might feel like there's a little less risk because maybe you've got a portion of salary and a portion of commissions, but you're limited. You can't recruit people and train them how to be sales reps and get a commission off of them, at least not to my understanding. Another example of maybe one that does make sense is going into becoming a realtor. It's a very big ticket item. It's something that you personally can make a commission on based on how quickly you grow. You can go out and there are lots of different ways to find people, and to my understanding, if you get your brokerage, you can have people that you're making commission on. However, again, I believe there are certain limitations to being able to grow that quickly. And so find a sales job where you can scale quickly. For me, I told my wife, look, if we lost everything, I'd go hit the doors, right? I would go, I would learn how to sell what I believe to be the best product, and then I would find a way to train other people to sell it. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, Chandler, you already know how to sell. And that's true, I've done it. This is the exact method I took. However, what I would tell you to do different is once you find that platform that has that scalability factor, go all in. My first year, I just worked 4 months and then I kind of took 8 months off. I would go all in 100%. I would go and I would learn how to sell as quickly as possible. I would push through any kind of failure, any kind of rejection, and I would immediately get to the point where not only am I a good salesman, but then I'm recruiting. And I would treat it like a full-time job. I'd be working 50, 60 hours a week because I know that anyone that puts in that time can become good at selling, they can become good at training, they can become good at leading, and they can scale it up quickly to where they increase their income a lot more rapidly than I did. It took me a good 3 or 4 years before I was good at the scale part, good at training sales reps, good at helping them go out and sell, good at recruiting them, good at giving them a good experience. And so I truly believe if I was in your place, I could have done that more quickly. Now, once you've got that scaling, once you've increased your income, then I would start investing in real estate. And a lot of people say, Chandler, I've already got money set aside. I'm already ready to invest in real estate. What would you buy first? Well, for me, the first thing I would buy is I would go and find a good quality fourplex. And a lot of people say, oh, should I do a fund or a syndication or something else? No, learn how to invest in real estate for yourself. Maximize on the first thing you live in by living in it so that you can get as low as a 3.5% down. Find a killer fourplex, go in, live in that property, invest your down that you've saved. And then as soon as your year's up of living in it, I would go and I would do it again. And if you've scaled your income to the point where you've got lots of income coming in, then you don't have to live in the property so that you have enough money to afford it at a 5% down or a 3.5% down. At that point, it's just an if-then scenario where it's like, all right, if I have this income coming in, then I'm immediately going to put it into real estate. And now you just scale it, because here's the deal. Here's what's so fun about real estate. When you invest money in real estate, it is an asset that is going to appreciate, not depreciate. So every dollar you spend, not only are you going to get cash flow, not only are you going to get appreciation on the property, not only are you going to get principal pay down, you're going to get tax benefits, but every dollar you spend is a dollar that's going to make you money forever. I would view every single dollar that comes in my door as a little soldier that if I put him to work, he's going to reproduce over and over and over and create more and more soldiers that then if I use them properly, I can get to the point where it's in place and I consistently have that money coming in. So for me, if I'm doing this all over again, I'm going to be super frugal on the front end. I'm going to use as much money as I can to invest in real estate. And then the rule I would set for myself is as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to live with nothing for as long as I can. But the second I've got cash flow coming from the rental properties, I'm only going to live based on that cash flow once it's replaced my lowest level of income that I can survive on. So once I've got that, once I've built it up, and let's say you're living off of $20,000 a year. Once I've got my cash flow from my rentals to $20,000 a year, then you can start to scale your lifestyle. Because then every dime that you make is going into buying more rentals, and every dime in cash flow that spits out from those rentals, that's what you can live off of. So you've been living on $20,000 a year, you've been living super frugally, but pretty soon you've bought enough rentals that's $25,000 a year, that's $30,000 a year, that's $50,000 a year. And then you can start to scale your lifestyle, right? Then you can start to have a bigger and better life because you know everything that's coming in from your active income is immediately going into creating more cash flow, and that cash flow is not going anywhere. As long as you've bought good rentals, they're gonna keep spitting out that income every year, so you know you can blow it on what you want to. And that method, followed perfectly, is going to put you in a place where now every year you've got a better and better lifestyle. Now you should also be creating more and more income every single year that is all going into real estate, and all of that money is putting you in a place where you have more and more cash flow every single year. And guys, it's that simple. Now, I know there are a couple different scenarios. Maybe you're a doctor, lawyer, dentist, or you've really committed to a job, or you've really committed to a business and it's only spitting out so much income, but you know over time it's gonna grow and that's something you wanna build. That's okay. Just still live frugally, spend every dime on real estate so that you can have that passive income. Now, a lot of people say, passive income isn't as cool as you think, right? It's over glamorized. It's getting to the point where you can be lazy, you can sit on your butt, and that's very true. A lot of times people want passive income because they want to be lazy, they want to sit on their butt. What you'll come to find is building income is exciting. Buying rentals is exciting. And if you're like me, you get to a point where you've got all you need in passive income, but you still have an active income because you enjoy doing that. But I would still suggest everyone take this route because a passive income is an incredible safety net so that you can take risks in your business, so that you can do what you want, and then when you don't want to do it, you can take a break, you can enjoy life, you can have the passive income to cover the lifestyle that you want. Now listen, there are lots of different ways to skin a cat, and the more I think about that phrase, the more messed up it is, but you get the point. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. However, there are so many different options to get to this place, but I truly believe you can't get here unless you find a way to cut expenses and set aside money or increase your income. And once you figure out how to do that, you should be able to say, hey, this is how long it's going to take me to get there, and then just hold yourself to it. The problem people have is they'll set out a plan and they won't hold, or they'll jump ship, or they'll bounce around. And the reality is the more consistently you hold to the goals that you set, and if you make a plan and then you hold to the plan, there's no reason that everyone can't get to this place. And I'm not saying that you don't come from a harder situation than maybe I did. You have less support than I did. But there are jobs out there like this for everyone, and you just have to have the guts to make the leap. I promise you, once you make the leap, once you find a way to increase your income, once you commit to it and you put in consistent effort, consistent action, regardless of what your skill set is, regardless of what your background is, this is a realistic thing for you. So I hope this video helps you figure out how you can plan out your life and reverse engineer things so that you can get to where you want to be. Now, if you enjoyed this video, remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell. If you want to learn more about how to invest in real estate because you're figuring out how to increase your income and you've got that money to set aside, you can watch my other YouTube videos or you can pick up my real estate investing course below. Last thing, if you guys have questions, you made it to the end of the video and you're like, you know what, Chandler, this part of your plan was, I don't know, a little hairy. I didn't understand it. I don't know how to get out of this rut. Let me know in the comments below. I really would love to make another video because for me, this seems so simple. If I had nothing, I truly believe I could get right back to where I was if I had none of the connections, if I had none of the stuff. But I know for a lot of you that sounds, I don't know, maybe rude or like I don't understand your situation or I'm not being fair. And I want to understand your situation and help you figure out how to get out of the rut you're in so you can have the lifestyle that you want. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.